Hey vlog, so just went to Walmart, got some groceries, and I'm about to make some food, so I figured that I should just vlog it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We didn't get that much stuff, we just got like chicken, eggs, stuff like that. But I'm just kidding. But I want to show you, I made this cake and it was a failed attempt, but I mean, hey, props to me for at least trying it. It's a tres leches cake, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a vanilla cake, but there's like, obviously the name of it, 3 milks that you like pour into it or whatever. It's good flavor wise. The only thing I messed up on is that I put too much milk, so it's like too wet. So yeah, so that's, I'm gonna have to try that again another time. I'll eat it like just a snack one or whatever, because like I said, it still tastes good. So that's what I'm gonna do. And what I'm about to make is, okay, so I'm about to make Mexican meatballs. Yeah, I'll show you that right now when I start it, but I'm about to eat a little bit of this. Here, let me show you. I'm gonna finish putting these away, and then I will come back when I start. I'm gonna show you all the like ingredients or whatever, and we'll start cooking. All right, so I put all the groceries away, so I'm gonna show you what ingredients you need to make it. All right, so you're gonna need salt and pepper, the chicken bouillon, oregano, or you can use mint leaves, and then you're gonna need tomatoes. How many tomatoes, it just varies, to be honest, on how juicy and big your tomatoes are, because that's what's gonna kind of make the sauce. If the juicier your tomatoes are, the more like liquidier your sauce and around your meatballs is gonna be. And then onion, garlic, just 1 little clove of garlic, and then the ground beef. I'm gonna be using the lean ground beef, and this is a pound. Yeah, this is 1 pound. So I'm gonna be using the whole pound. And then the chipotle peppers, I put it in here because we reuse them. And then for chipotle peppers, that's gonna be really on how spicy you want your own. For us, we usually do like 1.5, depending on like how big they are, because I can tell like how spicy it's gonna be. But it just depends how spicy you want it, to be honest. You can add more or less. If you don't want it to be spicy, but you still want to get that like chipotle flavor in it, if you just take a little bit of the sauce that's in here, you don't have to use the actual pepper, but if you take some of the sauce that comes in the can or whatever, it'll still work. So yeah, so now basically what we're going to start with is making our sauce, and then we're going to go ahead and marinate or season up the meat, and then we'll cook it. So for the tomatoes, you really don't have to like cut them up or anything. I do just because for our blender it'll be easier to blend and faster, to be honest. So, and then if you have any like bad parts of the tomato, I like to just take them off, just because like, I don't know. So whatever, add the tomatoes. And then you're gonna only add like a chunk of onion, not like the whole onion. So I'll add about like this much onion, like a chunk, and then I'll add salt and pepper. And then just 1 pepper, depending on the size. Like this is a pretty big size, so I would just add that. And you can see the sauce is like all covered in it, so that gives it flavor to it. And then you're only gonna add half a cup of water. So to where it says 1, it's gonna only be like half of that, so like this much water. Sometimes I do accidentally add a little bit more water, like on an accident, to like 1 cup fully, and it'll still come out fine. Like I said, it'll just be a little bit more waterier, and it'll still be fine. So then once it's all blended, this is like what it should look like. Okay, so now we're just gonna season the meat. So this is the size pot that I'm gonna use. It's just like that. You can use a smaller one, it really doesn't matter. And then to your pot, I just add a tiny bit of oil just for the meatballs can kind of brown up a little bit. Tiny, just honestly a tiny bit, like that. And then I'll turn that on so it starts getting hot while I'm seasoning the meat. Don't forget your fan. Alright, so then I'm just gonna get like a bowl like this and put the meat in here. And then for the seasoning for the meat, literally that's all you're gonna need. Oops. All you're gonna need is the chicken flavor bouillon. We use this one. And then, like I said, oregano. But if you have mint is also good. Mint is actually better too. But they both work very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my meat. Put it in the bowl. Like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and season it. Now you don't want to season, this is very salty, this one, so you don't want to add too much of this, just because you can always, if the flavor is not right, you can always add this to the when it's cooking, so you don't have to add too much of it. This is more the important one, so I'll just add like that much. And then this one, I'll kind of go a lot on this one because, like I said, this one, it's better to add it now, like that much, if you can tell, that's how much it is. You can either mix this up right now with your hands and get the seasoning all over, or when this is ready for you to put the meatballs in, you can just grab the what? You can just grab the chunks off of here, form it in a ball, and then put it in. I like to do it that way just because when you mix your meat like this when it's raw and you try and put all the flavor into it, it can make your meat a little bit tough when you eat it. Kind of like, not chewy, but like, I don't know how to explain it, like tough, and it's not as enjoyable. So I tend to just season it up equally on the top, and then when I go like that, I'll kind of grab the seasoning in my hands and just kind of like combine it like that, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's basically what I do, and I'm just waiting for that to get hot. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I have the food going right now. So in here we have the meatballs. I ended up, you can tell, they're still raw. And then once I put them in with the oil, I ended up, and then you add the sauce, and it looks like that. So now it's just cooking, and I'll show you like what that looks like when it's, you know, cooking more. Here I have the rice going. So in the rice, I just added the water, chopped onion, and then I added some chicken flavoring just to give the rice a little bit of flavor. Here I'm going to be using the beans, and for the beans I do use butter. Once the butter has fully melted, then I'm going to go ahead and add the chopped onion and garlic. And yeah, that's basically it. So while that's all kind of cooking, I would normally just like kind of clean up the kitchen, maybe do like the dishes or whatever, and then just kind of chill because it's going to take about 20 minutes to cook. So I kind of follow just like till the rice is done, and pretty much everything else should be done because it's around the same time. So I completely forgot to show the food when it was finished, and we already ate, but I'll show you what we have here, like leftovers, just so you can kind of see. So that's the meatballs, and then the rice, and then don't mind that, I'm cleaning, and then the beans. And yeah, and none of this is gonna go to waste because I save everything for like leftovers for tomorrow. So yeah, I thought I'd show you like what it is, just because I forgot to show you like fresh plates. So